Alright, hello there everybody and welcome to Hull City Transfer Talk. I don't know what episode number this is, but it's been over a month since we started this series, and this is the busiest episode we have to date. I have a full side of A4 plus some other things I want to mention to you as well, and I'm just going to tell you the reason why. That is because Hull Daily Mail / Hull Live's Hull City correspondent Barry Cooper did a transfer Q&A where he answered all fans' questions about different players coming in, coming out, the takeover, all stuff like that. I won't touch on the takeover in this one, just like I haven't touched on it in many videos at all, because there's been so little evidence to support it actually being true. But we'll crack on straight away. So, we'll start with the confirmed incomings. We'll start with Andy Cannon. I sort of bodge-jobbed him into last week's transfer talk because I recorded it on the Tuesday before to go out on the Wednesday, so I had to re-edit it and get it out for the same time. Very pleased with that signing. Good centre-mid, utility player. Was very good for Portsmouth over the last few years and wanted to move back up north. That is why he chose Grant McCann's side. And Randall Williams as well, he arrived at the KCOM Stadium the other day. He was signed about a week ago, but he arrived in the flesh at the KCOM for the very first time yesterday, as I'm recording this. And yeah, I'm very excited for him as well. Can play predominantly right. He's predominantly a right winger, but can also do a job at right wing back, at right back. Can probably do a job on left wing as well. And because of the range of stats he's got, being able to play all the way up that right hand side. I've just dropped my piece of paper. Well done, Joe. Trying to pull my glasses back above my eyes. I've dropped my piece of paper. Fantastic. Great job. Yeah, so because of that, I reckon he could do a job in central midfield as well. In terms of outgoings then, I reported this one to you last week. Callum Jones to Morecambe was reported initially by Alan Nixon from The Sun. I said it would be a loan. I imagined it would be a loan because Grant McCann rates Jones so highly. And it did turn out to be a loan. Callum Jones has gone to Morecambe for the entirety of the 2021-22 season as they embark on their League One campaign. Also leaving on loan is Jordan Flores. Now Flores played about 40 minutes for us after his arrival from Dundalk. He got very unlucky in terms of injuries, in terms of the form of other players. Alfie Jones, Regan Slater and Richie Small have been the captain, of course. And he's gone out on loan to League 2 Morecambe. It's a level, if we were to send him out on loan, it's a level it's a level lower than I expected him to go. I expected him to be in League 1. But yeah, so Northampton fans who are wondering what I can tell you about Jordan Flores, it's not much, because we've not seen very much of him at all since he joined Hull City on what was my birthday. And also we have released two youngsters from the under-23s. They are Henry Kumwenda and Lucas Oddenston, both ex-Leeds. Kumwenda was signed only this time last year, summer window last year. We were all very excited for it. We expected him to break through. He got quite unlucky with an injury, I do believe, so therefore couldn't hold down a place in the under-23s. And he, like Oddenston, his former Leeds United Academy teammate, and now former Hull City Academy teammate, both have been released. But Oddenston is still very pally with people in the academy. I mean, he was on the lash with James Berry and Ahmed Salam watching the England game just the other night. In terms of rumoured arrivals then, according to Hull Live, Jack Marriott is in talks with Hull City to be signed on a free, having left Derby. However, Marriott would have to take around a 60 to 70% pay cut to join Hull City, and Football Insider reported today that Peterborough are also interested. Two newly promoted clubs, and I imagine it would come down to which club offers him the most money. Obviously, Marriott been at Peterborough before, but he worked with Grant McCann there, and they're not his local side. Marriott born in Beverley, so will have a strong connection to Hull City. But if it comes down to money, it'll come down to which club offers most. It hasn't been Hull City in recent years, but clubs and players have to realign their budgets and their expectations this summer due to there being no gate receipts for the last 18 months. And I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't see Marriott earning what he was on at Derby anywhere else, because Derby are in such a financial mess with the masses that they pay players, and very, very few of them actually turn up on the pitch. According to Hull Live again, Luke 09 is someone we're looking at on a free from Sunderland. I've asked some Sunderland fans about that. Shout out Adam Dixon if you watch him. He said to me that Luke is a very good player. He's very versatile. Right back, centre back, left back, centre mid. All three of the central roles, whether it's sitting deeper, further forward, or just being the box to box. Apparently he's very good at that. And yeah, I mean, 09, I from what I've read as well, based on other centre-back rumours about coming in to replace Burke, 09 would come in as a centre-back. But he can do a job. But this does look very unlikely, as there are a lot of clubs in for him, and all of those clubs can offer more money than what we probably can. Hull Live again, Jordan Graham on a free from Gillingham. City have had interest in him for quite a long time and have been looking at him. Right winger, was very good for Gillingham last season, got in the League One team of the season. However, he looks basically odds on to be going to Birmingham City. Update on Gavin Whyte, because that has gone very quiet in recent weeks. A fan asked a question about that. Barry Cooper replied that there is definitely intent to bring Gavin Whyte back. It would more than likely, if he was to come back, be a loan. But it will all hinge on what Cardiff's transfer business is like. So the deal largely depends on the transfer business of the Welsh side. Anyway, back to goalkeeper watch. Someone asked about intent to replace George Long, and what was asked about Nathan Baxter, because that's gone very quiet recently in the last week or so. City are most definitely interested in him, and Chelsea do rate him very highly, and City want to bring him in. On Regan Slater watch, on a permanent from Sheffield United, as I reported last week, there's unlikely to be any movement on that deal until Regan Slater speaks to Slavisa Jokanovic, or when Sheffield United players return to pre-season training. If Jokanovic wants him at Sheffield United, Slater will stay. But if there's no future for him at Bramall Lane, Regan Slater absolutely wants to come back to the KCOM, but this time permanently. Also from Hull Daily Mail, Hull Live, Barry Cooper, what a legend, is about Dan Crowley on a free from Birmingham. So City earlier in the window were very interested in offering a deal to Dan Crowley, but decided against it. For what reason, I don't know. So, away from the Hull Daily Mail for a little bit now, we'll go to Alan Nixon from The Sun. We all love Big Al. And he says that he's talking with regard to Carlos Mendes Gomez, who is the Morecambe winger who was influential in their promotion via the playoffs to League One. You may remember there was interest for him from City in January, which never moved really anywhere. I'm just trying to see what's happening now because the sun is starting to decrease in light as I'm turning back this way, and yeah. So City are keeping an eye on him is the exact quote from Nixon. And as I say, he was linked in January. Now, according to Jimmy McCann is not linked to a publication of sorts, but is apparently fairly reliable. He's apparently fairly reliable. I'm not sure, but if he is, based on this deal, I'll be very happy. So Dion Charles from Accrington is apparently going to be announced very soon. It says that he's agreed a 2-year deal with Hull City, and that will be announced soon. Personally, I don't buy it because we'll go back to Hull Daily Mail. Hull Daily Mail said a few weeks ago that a deal for Dion Charles looks unlikely as City are on quite a tight budget, and Ihab Alama's confirmed that City are working on quite a stringent budget this year, and a lot of that will be put towards wages. But Hull Daily Mail have said now Barry Cooper has said now in Barry's Q&A, the quote is, I'm going to have to stop to read this, suffice to say, as much as McCann would like him, I don't see how that deal gets done given the fact Accrington will rightly want a decent fee. What Andy Holt says he wants and what Andy Holt gets may well be two very different things. Aki are a well-run club and are seemingly under no pressure to sell, so won't be bullied into a deal. Suspect Charles will move on this summer, but it will be to a club that has the ways and means to pay a substantial transfer fee. And at this stage, City do not fall in to that bracket. And finally, on the incoming watch, according to the Daily Mail, Hull City are interested in Ryan Tunnicliffe from Luton. You may recognise that name. That is because he was ex-Manchester United, formerly in their youth side, and was teammates with Paul Pogba and Jesse Lingard at youth level. So that would be an interesting deal, but it's another centre mid, and it's another one from Luton after getting George Monker. Will it happen? I'm not too sure, because I don't see why we'd need another centre mid, especially if we have our eyes on getting Regan Slater in permanently, unless there's an eye on him to come in and replace Jordan Flores. Finally then, this is the only outgoing rumour this week, and that is that according to Hull Live, again, City could loan out James Scott, dependent on which teams come in for him. Now, Scotty been quite unlucky this past year and a half. Obviously came in, got injured straight away, but then the lockdown helped him come back from that and make his first appearance at the back end of last season after the lockdown. Right, as I was saying before I was interrupted again, so James Scott got very, very unlucky after the lockdown, because when he first came into City, because he had that massive ankle injury which lockdown helped him recover from. Then he came back in, scored against Birmingham, hopes were high, and he sort of flattered to deceive after that. But and this season he scored a few in the Papa Johns, but other than that he didn't really do much due to the form of Keane Lewis Potter and Malik Wilkes and all those guys. And when he got subbed on in the league, he looked so devoid of confidence, it was actually quite sad. So we'll have to see on that front. I think a loan move to someone like a Portsmouth, someone high up in League One, could be a good move for the Scotsman. And that is your lot for Hull City transfer talk this week. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.